I've seen clips of you discussing moral realism and anti-realism and postmodernism, but I want to find videos to know your positions better. I'll just explain it right now. I'm not a moral realist because I don't think that what is or is not right is encoded into the universe. I think that it's a contextual. I don't think there's any empirical basis for making moral claims. I think the most that we can do is make a moral anti-realist intersubjective argument that maybe people's moral values can't be like objectively right or wrong, but we sure as hell can make very strong intersubjective, that means subjective but agreed upon in a large group of people, the statements on what people actually like and what they don't like. For example, I don't think there's any coding in the universe that says that it's bad to bop people in the head with a hammer, but I think I can defer to the wisdom of the majority and find like pretty good examples of why that's a bad idea. Now you might think, oh, isn't that like moral relativism? Isn't that basically you saying like, oh, well, would slavery have been right 500 years ago? No, because it's not just about what people believe is moral. It's about how people act in given situations. Slavery causes suffering 500 years ago, as it does today. And the underlying moral beliefs in the value and virtue of freedom or autonomy, people being able to make their own decisions, free knowledge, that kind of stuff, those consist or those persist in any era. So you would look at what humans are and what they believe and what people tend to value and benefit from, and then you would decide, okay, maybe morals aren't coded into the universe, but we can still make a damn good argument for a certain set of them. And if other people disagree, I don't have an objective argument against their set of beliefs, but I do have a big rock. And that's really where it all, sort of boils down to. Don't those moral beliefs supersede the anti-realism thing? No. Yeah, morals really are impossible to reconcile without rock. Everyone agrees with this on some level. It's like those zero IQ arguments against the concept of political violence. Like, okay, what about the Nazis? What if there's a government of people and they just want to kill everyone? What then? Like, do you debate them to make them not like that? Well, I guess you can, but what if they don't listen to the debate? Well, rock. Like, it's just like zero IQ shit. Like, obviously. Like, hey, morally speaking, what if one group of people wants to do evil and kill you? Like, okay, great, The problem is, like, at the end of the day, no one wants to have these conversations, I think, because the easiest answer for everyone is to appeal to moral realism, like, implicitly, and then just defer to that. Like, if they think something is right, then it must be innately right. That's all conservatives do, which is why moral anti-realism often gets called, like, nihilism when it's not. That's why a lot of conservatives say that it's immoral to be an atheist, because moral realism is often informed by divine command theory. They think that if God isn't telling you to be good, that means you're evil. Like, oh, why not rape people if God doesn't say you'll go to hell for it? Which really reveals a lot about what they want to do. How would this system work if the majority believes the minority isn't human? What? I just said that. It is an empirical fact that the minority is human. It's not by any like categorization they would defer to in terms of like moral viability. Like what categorization would they refer to? Their skull shape? What does their skull shape have to do with this, that, the other? The moral like qualia experienced in either case is identical. Are those empirics real? Yes. See, this is why philosophy isn't fun to talk about to a stream chat. See, now a bunch of people are going to be like, I'm a first-year student and I'm here to derail the classroom, Some people just don't get metaethical arguments. Yeah, because metaethics is bullshit. The only people who give a fuck about metaethics are nerds, virgins, and losers, okay? Normative ethics is where all the real meaty stuff is done. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody's ever been swayed from a normative moral position because some metaethical argument was... Nobody has ever been like, well, I did believe in doing the Holocaust too, but your argument on the innate subjectivity of morality is really... it's never happened, It's the nerd behavior. The normative arguments are what matter most. Do you think that obligations are real? Scheherazadian, go find a room and bring into it all the world's most well-known and well-educated utilitarians and ask them whether or not obligatory behavior is a feature of their moral system, and run before the blood from them all bludgeoning each other to death blinds you, okay? I don't know. I still think this is a worthwhile convo. Yeah, clearly. Can you explain what people like JP don't get about postmodernism? It's not that they don't get postmodernism. It's that postmodernism is Jewish. They think it's Jewish and degenerate, so they want to oppose it for those reasons. That's it. Anytime any conservative says postmodernist this, Frankfurt School that, whatever, cultural Marxism, cultural Bolshevism, Judeo-Bolshevism, whatever, it all just means the Jew. Capital T, capital J. That's it. JP could not describe postmodernism if a gun was to his head. No conservative could. There's not a conservative on earth who could. I've never seen a conservative define postmodernism. In fairness, it's pretty tough to define postmodernism, and a lot of people would disagree with any definition you offered, but nonetheless, I've never seen any of them even come close. Yeah, as an accountant, I don't know how you could possibly think that I would remember any specific video you sent me at any point in time. Deism Accountant, when did you send me that video? How long ago, Deism Accountant? I'll find it. No, I didn't ask you to find it again. I asked you how long ago you sent it to me. Probably a year ago. Deism Accountant, do you know how many emails I get? Did you ever look at that video I sent you? I don't know. Maybe. Good Lord. Yeah, I'm grumpy today. How does your moral anti-realism take into account? Sabila 2, I'm not a philosopher. You can Google moral anti-realism and get a better description of it from Wikipedia than I could possibly provide. I'm not an expert in the subject. I have a basic foundation in it that allows me to make normative arguments, which is what I care about, with the assumption that I'm maximizing for certain axiomatic values like human happiness, well-being, autonomy, freedom, blah, blah. How does your moral anti-realism take into account the argument for moral experience? How do you argue against strong moral intuitions? Rock. And the fact the best explanation for these intuitions, rock, is that they're objective moral facts. Rock. Rock. If you're asking me, how do you disprove this metaethical argument? You can't. It's metaethics. You can't. It's not possible. Deism Accountant, you really missed the point of what I said. The first step is to determine what everyone's goal is, right? No, you can't disprove metaethical arguments. It's literally not possible to disprove metaethical arguments. You can't do it. It's not possible. That's why it's boring to talk about.